Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is the part 2 of the lady that married a man that didn't exist. For those of you that have not seen part 1, you need to start part 1. Even though there's nothing you use. There's not so much, but you need to start because she laid the foundation. So go start from there. For those of you that are up to date, let's keep this rolling.
Okay, part 2 of how I married a man that didn't exist. So, ending off last video, I am for the underdog. I love to hear a story of how someone has struggled and they came out of that better. So, everything was sounding good at this point. We had been communicating every day, and we started video calling. Like I said, he was very charming, very flattering. He was saying all the things that I wanted to hear that I didn't know that I needed.
And that's the thing, people like this because they are just performing. They have it down to the T. They will say the nice words. They're very good at studying people. They will study you to know the kind of things you like, what tickles you. That's what they'll be supplying you with. In your head, you're thinking you finally hit the jackpot. Hey, but then again, why can't people be nice like that? Like genuinely study people and treat them how they want to be treated. Why we not do that?
Needed to hear. And at the time, obviously, I didn't know that this script was formulated specifically for me. That the things that were being said were to move me in a position of where he needed me to be, where he wanted me to be. He was constantly calling me beautiful. He was constantly saying that he thought that I was just gorgeous and he couldn't wait to meet me. That he liked bigger girls, that didn't bother him. And he was a bigger guy. It wasn't like anything, crazy. But of course, as someone who has self-esteem issues, hearing these things sounded really, really good. So we then started video chatting every night. So he video chatted me from a car the very first time we chatted. And it was a normal conversation. It was good. It was the first time we had interacted face to face. And it was like the charm that he had over the text messages just translated into that like real interaction. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this seems too good to be true. Like he seems really into me. We were talking about making plans about meeting in person. So he was video chatting me from the car, and at that point, once again, he owned his own home. He was telling me that he did have 2 roommates. We will call them K and T, one male, one female, and that K and T.
Hold on. Somebody that built or bought a house for his mother. He has his own house, he has car. He has this. Why is he having roommates? Because I know in America, if somebody is having roommates, that means cash is not so easy to come by. They don't have roommates because it's just for the fun of it. Or majority fish, you guys. Am I the one overthinking?
Were together. They were a couple. So he was talking about how they all go out together with his friends, and they go ATV riding. He had sent me some videos of the ATVs and riding through, the fields or the woods or whatever. And we had made plans for me to go over there and go ATV riding with him and a group of his friends. He had shown me pictures of his dogs. There were 2. He had shown me a picture of his vehicles. He had shown me the outside of his house. He had flipped the camera around and he showed me the house. And the car he was sitting.
What if he went to an environment? Because she's sure a very fine house, but
Again, was a really nice car. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a nice car. So I'm like, these are the things that made my mind at ease. I'm like, oh, he's telling the truth. Look, he is in front of this house that's obviously his. He is riding ATVs with these friends. He has sent me a picture of this truck he owns. He's sitting in a nice car. Like, okay, this is starting to feel more legit. So we had talked a lot about his time in prison. After he did tell me, because the name he had on his Facebook dating profile was not his full name. So it had his first name and last name, but the last name he had on Facebook dating was actually his middle name. He did eventually tell me his last name, and he said that the reason why he did not have his real last name on his Facebook page, because we eventually became Facebook friends, was that he had done that to protect his sobriety so that his old dealers couldn't find him, so that he could just not be found by people he didn't want to be found by.
That's fishy already. That's somebody running from something.
So I looked him up. I did a background check or a Google search, whatever. I think that all of us ladies would do that at this point in 2025. And I found the records, I found the mugshots, I found the posts, I found just an abundance of things. And it tracked. All the things that I found online matched what he told me he had gone to prison for. And I'm like, okay, he was honest. That took a lot of courage, because he could have lied about going to prison and me not find that out until later, or maybe never find out. So I was building this trust, is the point of that tidbit. I was building this trust within him, and I was excited about going ATV riding with him and his friends. Like I said, we had made the plan for me to come over for the first meeting, because we wanted to do the ATV riding in the group. And then the next time he would possibly come over to Fort Lauderdale, and we would go on a date there. And it was an expectation, or an understanding rather, that when I came over, because it was about a 3-hour trip, that I would be staying at his house. So I know all the red flag girlies are like, girl, this should have been like, you shouldn't have even agreed to that. Like, why would you do that? My mind was not in that place at this time. My mind was in the place of, what he's saying is checking out. I'm seeing these things with my own eyes. I'm building trust. So as time passes, we're video calling more and more. It's every day. We're texting pretty consistently throughout the day. There are not a lot of gaps in between. We're getting to know each other. And of course, at this time, he's getting to know me. He's getting to know my hopes, my dreams, what I'm afraid of, my past relationships, the ways I've been hurt, the things that I've gone through. He's gathering all.
Telling him the way you've been hurt, the what you've been through, who you are. Giving him more ammunition. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He will be just be jubilating and he's getting more.
All this information, and he's once again charming and saying the right things. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you went through that. I'm so sorry. I would never treat you like that. I have been devastated after the passing of my wife. I want to find something real. I have these girls to take care of, and I want a mother figure for them eventually. It was very hard on them when they lost their mother, and they need someone in their life that's going to love them and care for them, and not only just for me. So my heart was singing, and he knew that at this point I had shared, what I wanted out of life. As wildly independent as I am, and as a person who doesn't need someone else to take care of her, and who's very actively in a career, my dream is to be a wife and a mother. That is truly what I want, and it's what I have wanted for a very long time. And then to top that all off, the kids were just an added bonus. He knew I loved kids, that I wanted kids. I had a miscarriage in 2020. I lost a baby, and that was something I revealed to him as just a really deep source of pain for me. And he started making hints of, he thinks that the girls would get along good with me, that he thinks we would interact well, that he could see us, getting along and forming a relationship. So that was also something that was then spinning in my mind. I'm in Florida. I am without my family. All of my family's back in North Carolina. I'm alone. I'm lonely. I lost a baby a few years ago, and my dream to have a family just didn't seem like it was going to come into fruition at this point. So then here this situation comes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I might finally have my chance to fulfill my dreams, to be who I want to be, to do the things I want to do. So he would FaceTime me from the inside of the house sometimes, and I started noticing the calls became a little shorter and shorter. We would not stay on video for longer than 15 minutes at a time. Sometimes that would be less and less, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just a couple minutes. I remember vividly one call where he started kind of yelling in the background, and he goes, "Babe, I gotta go. The girls are fighting. I have to get them dinner. I have to make sure they're okay." And I'm like, "Of course, go take care of the girls." I didn't think anything of that. He is a single father. He has his children. He owns his own home. He has a family to run. Let's go into part 3. Okay.
That man was good. We have to give it to him. Ah, he's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kamas. Guys, see you in part 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Let me show you guys this handcrafted tie and dye shirts. It's so lovely. It's one of my favorite thing. Let me show you another. So this comes in blue and white.